Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Club Vibes, brought to you by Blockcast, also known as the Age of Blockcast community. Myself, vibing this year, got my brother with me, Mr. Scott Tripp. It's a little episode we like to get together, kind of go through some of the intricate topics and some of the projects that's maybe doing malicious things and things of that nature. Kind of bring it to the forefront and see what you guys think about it. So today is going to be a really interesting topic. We're going to be talking about some of the rug pulls that's happened on the NFT side and some of the actions that's been taken since some of the things that have happened. So before we get into that, I'll let Scott introduce himself and then we'll jump right into it.
Yeah, Scott Tripp, of course, Crypto Beast 32. I always enjoy these videos. We're a little bit more open in these and are able to talk about different things. So definitely excited for today's video.
Oh yeah. So we're just going to go right into it. So the funny thing is people who are familiar with in the NFT scene have seen recently that the U.S. Department of Justice came down on two. They're not teenagers; they're in their young 20s. One's 20, and I think the other was 21. They had a NFT project called Frosties, and they rugged it. And they were about 2 days from launching their second V2 or second NFT project, and the SEC stepped in and arrested these guys, or the FBI. And the funny thing is, within 12 hours of this happening, some of the other NFT projects that have miraculously disappeared came back. So we decided to grab a couple or grab a couple of those projects and bring those to the forefront. One of the first ones that came back, me and Scott had also talked about this before on some of our daily crypto news, is that Lana Rhodes had rugged her NFT project, and she's a porn star, I guess would be the best terminology to use to describe her. And it's funny because she had said she walked away from the project because people were talking bad to her and saying bad things. So she left it and said screw that and all of that. And now she said she's coming back, and she did that within 12 hours of this announcement that these kids were getting locked up. And she pretty much said to the community, that she's looking for a solution for the people that's holding. But people need to realize that there's also a war going on. So she used the war card for sympathy for what's going on. But I think that the tough thing about things like this, Scott, is that if she does get the project back up and running, just because of the what happened with the Frosties, it's just going to turn into a slow rug, and those hurt a lot worse than just being strung along for a long time. Sucks. But interesting to see that she comes out of the wind from nowhere and says, hey, guys, I'm back. And I'm going to try to work on the project, but let's just realize there's a war and people are fearing for their lives right now.
I'll just throw a couple of the things for us, just so that people understand what we're discussing. So
it's CryptoSys, right?
Her project is CryptoSys, but this is the first thing that kind of the catalyst that set these guys for coming back. So police arrest two 20-year-olds for allegedly conning collectors out of $1 million with ice cream themed NFT artworks. The pair sold NFTs for 8,888 ice cream scoop characters called Frosties and then disappeared. One such theme came to end last week when U.S. law enforcement arrested two 20-year-old men, Ethan Van Nugen, Andre Marcus Quiddoin Lasuna in Los Angeles in connection with alleged $1.1 million NFT fraud. The interesting thing is it said instead, less than an hour after the January 9th drop, Nugent and Lacuna promptly abandoned Frosty, shutting down its website and 25,000 member Discord channel and transferred all their funds into their own cryptocurrency wallets. Such a scam is known as a rug pull. And you can see here, one of them are just talking, hey, Gary, I know this is shocking, but this project is coming to an end. I never intended to keep the project going and don't have a plan for anything in the future. This is why the project is coming to an end. You're an amazing mod and you have a heart of gold. If people ask, share this message to clear your name. I suggest deleting this Discord account and creating a new one, since you'll most likely get a lot of heat. I know you've been going through a hard time, so I wanted to do something for you to help you out. I know this won't regain your trust, but I sent some Ethereum for your troubles. No matter what people say, I genuinely care about you. With everything going on, I want to know that I do care. I appreciate you, even if you don't appreciate me. Frosty. So they felt guilty for allowing one of their mods that was dragged into it to actually send him some Ethereum or the stolen funds, which I'm sure he's like, how am I going to accept this? But the funny one is, like you mentioned, Lana Rhodes here. So you can see recently she's been tweeting a lot in March. Previously to that, it was January 24th that she originally posted on the actual NFT project. So from January 24th to March 24th, there was absolutely no communication. And then all of a sudden she started talking about, we have an airdrop on the way for select holders. And then to update everyone, we currently aren't on OpenSea. We have received the royalty money and plan on using it for the community finally. A surprise, surprise, right? And you could see how she took some of it. And then she mentioned how she bought a piece of land on Sandbox and the merch drop is closed and that she's sending it out. And she sent pictures of the merchandise that she's dropping, the t-shirts and things like that. But I think, in all honesty, it was 50 holders that ended up getting the merchandise. But I mean, this kind of speaks of volumes of, like, you see somebody go to jail for doing a crypto scam or a rug pull, and then she realizes, or the people behind the project with her realize that they can't get away with doing what Frosties did. They can't fulfill. And the biggest thing I heard is it's the roadmap that the SEC is going after these guys for. So anything that's on the roadmap, I guarantee almost that Lana Rhodes is going to come back, or that project is going to come back to finish off the steps in the roadmap as best they can before they say, you know, we did our best. We tried as much as we could, but I mean, we couldn't bring it back to what it was supposed to be. And we followed the roadmap to the T that we needed to, but I'm sorry, you guys, we're going to just close this project at that. I guarantee that's what it's going to be, which is silly. And you feel for projects. It's the same with another project I'll let you start talking about. The Bored Apes was an interesting one as well. So
no, the Bored Bunnies. Bored Apes.
Bored Bunny. Sorry. There was another one called that though, or not Bored Apes. There was another one.
Stop. Like the Bored Apes is completely fine.
Yeah. No, not the Bored Apes. There's Bored Bunny. They did a super Bored Bunnies or something along those lines. I forget exactly the name of it, but yeah, Bored Ape is okay. It's a really good project.
Okay. All right. So yeah, the funny thing is, like you said, man, it's just like they're gonna come back and try to fulfill that roadmap, and that's what makes it a slow rug. Because once that roadmap is fulfilled, there won't be another one, and it'll be fulfilled with minimum potential. The other interesting project that was suddenly popped back up out of nowhere was the Bad Bunny, the one that Scott was alluding to, the Bad Bunny NFT. And the founder came back 1.5 months later, and he said he was going to start sending out the merch. And the developer said that he was personally taking time off to go through all of his emails privately. He said there was a lot of threats and things of that nature. And even though he posted this on Twitter, the community didn't have a good response. There was a lot of people saying, let's not, string it along anymore. Go ahead and refund the people and let's all go our separate ways. So it sounds like the community's lost trust in the Bored Bunny NFT project, but I know, and I know they did some marketing with Floyd Mayweather as well. So even on his post, people are still talking about, hey, people had trust in you because who you are. You're like our favorite our favorite person or like favorite athlete, and we look up to you. So it's kind of funny to see how this breaks down. But I know you got some more information, Scott. So go ahead and dig into it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, the board bunny. So it's just what you were mentioning. He said, hope all is well. I came back to you to give you some news about myself and some explanations. He didn't spell explanations right about the project. Primarily, the reason for my absence this last month was I've been through a lot of emails, messages in private. Uh, he also has some great news.
Use that one at the office and see how it works out.
Yeah, he designed some new merchandise. He'll start to collect all the info for t-shirts and hoodies. And regarding the sandbox map, we're waiting for the bids to go through to find a good one. So again, same kind of idea. And I apologize about talking about those 8 projects. It's just this one. If you look here, the 2 biggest ones were actually Baller Ape Club and Evolved Apes are 2 of the other ones that happened recently.
I remember
so they were copying the Bored Apes with the idea of an ape, and they just made it worse.
And look at good old Frost. Look at good old Frosties up there at the top.
1.3
because it's the most recent. Yep.
Yeah. And
but Ball of Ape, I remember that one as well. That was like, I thought that one was really cool. But I didn't buy into it, you know, like I was like looking at NFTs, and this was like, it was a lot of stuff on Twitter about it. But yeah, you got to really like when it comes to these influencers and things of that nature, you really got to be careful about who you trust. Not a lot of people that especially from the entertainment side know about what's going on in contracts and know about what they're getting involved in. And a lot of times, even if they do, they know that they're getting monetary gain. And if you're out seeking monetary gain, I think you should really do your own research and watch these projects launch and watch them fulfill some of the roadmap. If they're going to be a great project and move on for a long time, and you're looking at building your portfolio over time, then you can come back to this token on some of the retraces that's it's going to naturally occur through the algorithm. I mean, guys, we know that. So it's just, you know, you got to definitely protect yourself. There was another project the team came back. It was called Shura. It's an NFT project. It came back from the dead again after months, and they came on, and then when they started the chat back up, they ended up having to mute the chat because of FUD. But they're posting things and talking about, you know, potentially being on Saitama, and then, you know, there's been a lot of things going on with Saitama. I don't want to report on that one today. We're just really talking about these NFT projects that just miraculously came back out of nowhere, and it's just so funny. And it happens within 12 hours of these kids getting prosecuted from Frosty. So again, you just really got to be mindful of the influencers that you follow, and always judge the book by the content, not just the back of it. You know?
Yeah,
the cover and the back.
That I found the video of him trying to defend his project too as well, and it's kind of silly. There's a couple of things to that. I think we're gonna save it for next time, that whole topic. But he was a big proponent of another project, Safe Moon, at one time, and really called Safe Moon a rug and how it was horrible. And he's not the first time that these guys have called out, or he's called out other projects and stuff. And it's just interesting to see everything that's going on right now in these projects. Like, I don't know if people realize, like, this is all, as regulation comes stronger and stronger, this is where we're really going to truly see these rug pulls and stuff start to get affected. And the projects where you have a front-facing person that is really involved in it, they're going to go down. I kind of hinted at you earlier about the Floyd Mayweather. He made a new NFT project about himself, and he called it Floyd Mayweather. And he basically talks about the price. And one thing, if you're in a project and you're ahead of a project, for one, you should never talk about the price. You should never talk about it going to the moon, like it's going to go so high, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, because then you're feeding into it becoming almost like a rug pull in the end. you really have to watch your words and what you're saying. And Matt Wallace, I think, is really put himself in a situation. So I'm kind of excited to talk about that in the future.
Yeah. But yeah, the thing with Floyd, you know, the thing with those type of influencers when they're promoting, I think they're fine, especially like you know, not especially like, but like Floyd Mayweather and some of those guys, they'll, you know, they can be drug into litigation and maybe
Yeah.
have their deals or what they were expected to do, their marketing agreement, and things of that nature. You know, Jake Paul. There's a lot of influencers that got involved in these projects, but yeah, we're just going to stick to these today. But yeah, we just wanted to cover those today, bring those to the light, and bring those up for you guys. But we appreciate you guys tuning in, and tune in for the next episode of the Club Vibes with Crypto Beast and myself, Vibes. So we'll check in next time. And until then, guys, peace out.
Peace. See you guys later.